Hi there, Wayne, London, England. Just got some notes here, I'm going to read them off as well. Just a little story. Many years ago, a friend of mine met me a couple of times and we got talking. Used to be a grinder actually on the phone. Used to spend sort of getting to work around about 8 o'clock in the morning and work through till 8, 9 o'clock at night. Basically spent most of his life actually in the office on the phone, earning about $6 to $7 an hour. Quite a sort of hard sort of task to do if you don't like the phone. Then one day the company owner came in and he found out that he'd lost his driving licence, and because Joe worked all the hours under the sun, he happened to be in the office that evening and overheard the conversation. And what had happened is he said, the managing director or the owner of the company said, well, unfortunately I won't be able to go on the appointments that have been booked for the next 6 months because I'm not allowed to drive, having lost his driver's licence. Joe jokingly said he'd drive him for those next 6 months, and part of the deal was that he'd get to drive the boss's car whilst he was not driving the boss. So he went over at night in the boss's car, and if it was things at the weekend he wanted to do, he could use the boss's car. That was one of the perks of actually doing that particular job. He went out into the car park, and there was the boss standing right next to his bright red Ferrari. So Joe gets a chance to actually drive the red Ferrari and use all the toys in the boss's car. Just find my woman notes going. Oh, this down this way. So for the next 6 months, Joe drives the boss around to his appointments, and 6 months is now up. So Joe gets back in the seat in the office, gets back on the phone. So he's now sort of starts to grind again, ringing people up, making appointments for his boss, which is it's fantastic. He likes doing it. But it's a long day. I mean, you're looking at sort of starting 8 o'clock in the morning, working till 9 o'clock at night. Then he suddenly has an aha moment, and where it came from he didn't know. Thought, being there, this has been about a week or so after he'd stopped actually driving the boss around. Said, well, what I want to do, I want to be the boss, be driven around, have someone else make phone calls for me. Conversation over the previous 6 months, Joe had actually had his iPhone in his pocket, and he'd recorded conversations that they'd had, just something to do, find out what the boss was all about and what business